gun-toting Minnesotan. So, doing something I haven't done for a while. Just got a pile of knives in my hand, a lot smaller than the ones I've carried in previous videos from years ago, but this is kind of the main EDC gear that I might carry out in the woods. Not all of these at once, maybe two, usually one lately, but these are the kind of blades that I usually use. So I just thought I'd come out here and fiddle around with some wood for a little bit. Take it easy. Today was a rimfire day, so I was practicing a lot with rimfire, doing a lot of that. And actually, so today I'm carrying the 2245 from Ruger. This is the older version, so it's kind of like the Mark II 2245, and a phenomenal pistol. Go check out that review if you haven't watched that yet. I think it's something like 20,000 rounds into the pistol is where that review happens, and this pistol is still just killing it. It's a phenomenal gun. Check that out if you haven't watched it yet. Anyways, still own the Finwolf. Great blade. Really, really good edge capability. Doesn't hold the edge as long as other steels, but Aussite is a good beater steel. So, the reason I titled this video Bushranger versus the World is, of course, everybody's always looking for the one blade that can kind of do everything the best. That's not the deal. It's never going to be that way. What really you're going to find is a blade that you will deal with, something that you're willing to put up with, that does everything at least okay and is comfortable. That's usually 90% of it. It's kind of like guns. We all have our favorite guns, but some people may swear Glock 19s up and down all day long, but then the only thing that they'll carry is their little car 380 or something. And so really what's comfortable is what you're going to use. It's what you're going to take. I was hiking for a while today before I got to where I'm at, and you know what I didn't want? A bunch of big machetes or heavy axes or something like that. I'll do that on a project day, but not when I just come to mess around in the woods. I'll tell you one thing about this knife. I really wish that it was in a superior steel, and I wish that the handle was thicker and all that, but as is, there's something about it. I still haven't sold it. I haven't gotten rid of it, and I have blades with better steel, you know, by far. So it must be pretty decent. I haven't scrapped it yet. Plus it's so cheap. It's like a $28, $30 knife. Really can't go wrong with a Finwolf. I saw these on sale for like 23 bucks on Amazon a while ago. A guy posted that sale, and I didn't buy another one because I don't need more knives, but 23 bucks is pretty stellar. So I got 4 pegs, and I'm not doing anything real functional, actually. Kind of whittling it down into a type of post notch where you would wrap something around it. Cordage, it's kind of like a cordage connector. I'll show you when I'm done, but I thought I would do that 4 different times, 4 different blades. Just see how my hand felt after. This is green wood, by the way. It's not a hard piece of wood, it's maple. It was a good day to be in the woods. It's still pretty warm. It's like 70 degrees, but you can feel fall is coming in. I love fall. So I'm going to make some of these with these blades. One of the first observations I have about the Finwolf, so I just did that little project right there. That's all you saw. That's all I've used this blade for so far. Is I had this pristinely sharp. I mean, very, 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 very sharp. Actually, my wife accidentally cut herself with it. She popped it open to cut something, and she just went like this, and it touched her finger, and it sliced her. Even though, if you hold it the right way, this really never should bite you. One of the things I noticed about it right away was, other than the bite being exceptional and you know, being a Scandi, that's what it does. I noticed that the grip, it's really flat. It is really, really flat. Those scales are just so flat. A little bit of 3D contouring goes a long ways, and some thicker scales would go a long way. But, of course, in the pocket, this thing is really light, and it's got a really good pocket clip, actually. The pocket clip doesn't kill my hand when I hold it. It's long enough, but I really don't care to try to hold it in any reverse grip like this. If I was to try to get a lot of meat off the edge, it's just not comfortable. And that's why I'm a big proponent of saying that bushcraft blades shouldn't have all these kind of hooks on here. This sort of thing just kills it for me. In fact, it's still a little bit sharp back here because I didn't sand that part. Needed a place for the blade to not be exposed. But Finn Wolf, I'm sticking with it. Post down in the comments below if you've stuck with your Finn Wolf and why. Let me grab another blade. I was sitting in my hammock here for a while. Random house cat just walks up, like I'm out in the woods, way out in the woods. And I'm pretty sure it wasn't a feral cat or anything, but just walks up to me. It's kind of wild. And actually, it didn't see me, which is funny. It could smell me. I could see its nose really going. It could smell you. Then as soon as I said something and I moved, then I could see it lock onto me. Can tell right away as far as biting into the wood and pressing straight in perpendicular. Even though this has maybe the sharpest edge or the best edge out of all the knives that I'm going to show you today, there is still a little bit more meat behind the edge than a Scandi. There we go. So there's the Ultimate Hunter. Love this blade. Some of the things I can tell you about the handle just right off the bat. This little mini comparison is that the handle is slightly bigger. You know, it's definitely slightly thicker and longer. So it's not quite as obtrusive to do a reverse cut. Or a chest lever, I should say. Works pretty nice. Sorry about that, I got a phone call. So anyways, the things that are getting in your way are, again, these hooks. So this is called an Ultimate Hunter. It's not exactly a bushcraft knife. I think it works really well as a bushcraft folder, really, really well, especially because of that CTS XHP. It's a phenomenal steel. I mean, it really... Let's see. I know it's greenwood and stuff, but it holds an edge really well, and that spine stays really sharp for a long time, and the edge stays sharp for a long time. But these things, these little hooks, I wish they weren't there. They get in your way. You try to do something in reverse, and it just kind of feels funny. Broomstick handles almost always are going to be the way to go when it comes to bushcraft knives. So, still waiting on a folder someday that incorporates all these things into one. Until then, really happy with this blade. Not selling this, and this might even be a blade I would dare to say that I will never sell. It's just that good. It's a little loose. I should probably tighten it up a little bit, but I did baton with it once, so that could do it. Awesome blade. How about this next one? Bush Ranger. So this is the newest, and it does have a modified edge. Obviously I've brought that shoulder up quite a bit, if you can see it on the edge there, because the edge that it came with, although it was sharp, it was not something that bit in, and it was not fit to be called the Bush Ranger. I love fall days like this. God is good to give us these seasons in Minnesota. So the reason I wait a long time before doing a review on a newer knife is exactly what I'm finding right now. I just realized something I haven't realized much in the past. And I've used the knife quite a bit, but I'm realizing a couple things about it. Alright, so there we go. Before I comment, let me do one more thing here. Yeah, so something I'm figuring out is this knife, it's a little tougher to do a reinforced cut because this thing is in the way. But as far as just being in your hand and being comfortable, this knife is more comfortable than the other knives I had there. It's just the thickness of the scales, the broadness, and slightly the 3D contouring. Like I said, I hate that there's a cutout here. That's totally functionally useless. There's no reason to have that there unless you really think you're going to be stabbing a lot. Who's doing that? The pocket clip is annoying. I hate the pocket clip on this, but it's not too bad, especially when I'm doing some carving, whittling, that kind of thing. And when I get into an aggressive cut, the way I hold it is pretty much just hammer grip. It's sometimes a little closer to the edge like this. But overall, the edge that I gave this would be my first recommendation to you. If you get this blade, sand those inner scales, sand this guy down a little bit so that you can get in there and loosen up the pocket clip. Yeah, this handle is really good. Wow. I think I can say I like this handle more than the Ultimate Hunter's handle. So, it's the first time I've really thought that, but I think just after using it now for, I don't know, what is it, a couple months, I'm starting to see pretty definitively that it is more comfortable and it doesn't hurt my hand when I'm working on stuff. So, that's awesome. Combined with that sweet kind of micro Scandi edge that I gave it, this thing's pretty good in the woods now. Wish it came that way. Last one. More a Khan's bull. Let's see. It's kind of a nastier piece of wood, but I'll try it. No matter how much I like that folding knife, it'll never replace a fixed blade handle. Just not having that gap in the middle where the knife folds in, it's just more comfortable in your hand. And I've been using Morris now for a long time, so get pretty used to them. It took me a while to figure out how to get this thing wicked sharp though. Wasn't the easiest knife to work with for some reason for me. So just like you figure, a fixed blade is always going to give you the advantage in your handle and in mobility and control, especially the texture of this handle. Yep, any day I would prefer a fixed blade over a folding knife. But if I'm limited to about this much pocket space, I'm pretty comfortable saying this is 70% of what this is. And actually, as far as steel goes, it's a lot thicker. But as far as strength, comfort, and kind of usability, this is really getting close to fixed blade comfort and capability in the woods. So I'm pretty comfortable just taking this out in the woods. Great blade. Let's see how they do with fire steel. So really anything sharp will send sparks, but just see how the spines do on these. So that's pretty okay. I've never found this knife to be amazing for throwing sparks. This knife has always thrown really good sparks. It's just got a very sharp spine. It's a very hard piece of steel, so it holds the edge for a while. And the Bush Ranger really throws sparks a long ways. It's just got a very sharp spine right out of the box. And this maybe is a little better because it's so thin, it's got a little fling to it, a little twang in the blade when it throws sparks. But I'd be comfortable taking any of these into the woods and doing, you know, kind of my hobby or backpacking with them for quite a while. But as far as comfort and usability, it's still going to be a fixed blade, followed closely by a folding. It's Gun Toting Minnesotan. Post your comments or your thoughts down in the comments section. If you have questions about blades or anything like that, or what I've done to some of these knives, go ahead and post those too. Other than that, thanks for your subscriptions and your views. And this YouTube thing probably won't last much longer because we keep getting warnings and banning and all this kind of stupid stuff. So if you know of a good social media platform that we should use instead of YouTube, comment that too. Thanks.